joining us soon. So let us begin with our mini Vandanam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiva Shakan Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvijay Namaha Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, I feel I'm sitting in a very quiet room with devotees. Would any devotee like to make a little sound? Or you can all make some sound together.
Dandavat pranam.
Jai.
Jai. All right. I've been used to having a lot of sound the last few hours and the last few days, or the last week, in fact, I suppose. We've been around a lot of devotees making lots of sound. So, dear devotees, I'm sure you all have some stories to tell. Some of you have sent some pictures, and from around the world, definitely different pictures and programs, and just a very happy mood of here we are, we've landed somehow from a crashing plane, we jumped out and somehow landed in the shelter of wonderful guardians, and headed by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj in our Parampara system. Srila Govinda Maharaj has given us Srila Guru Maharaj, has given us Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, has given us Bhakti Vinod Thakur, has given us ultimately Mahaprabhu via the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami in particular. All right, so dear devotees, do you have some contribution? And look at, I should follow proper etiquette and come straight to Kumkum Devi Rasi. She is the senior most here, not only in years of devotional service, I'm not saying age, I'm saying years of devotional service, but in her like qualities of devotion and steadiness and going on. So, Kumkum Didi, over to you. And I am remembering you. Oh, yes, I heard some good news from Munindra Mohan the other day. So, we're looking forward to your safe arrival presently. Jai.
My Dandavat Maharaj to you and to all of the devotees here. And here in this remote corner of the world, we're just closing up the day of the divine disappearance of Srila Gurudev. And so I was struck by a few comments that I came upon today from various exalted Vaishnavas who find it a difficult day. And knowing everything philosophically, but still having so much pain thinking of this day. And of course, that's natural. We wish that these things never had to happen. so that we would always have the benefit of these ears and these eyes being able to accept his kind mercy in the form of his teachings. But actually, even deeper than that, we have the instructions of our gurus. And so I turn to Shri Guru and his grace. And there's the chapter, Separation from Shri Guru. And I will put something quickly into the chat just because it's a very beautiful meditation. Let's see, chat. Here, type. Especially with this particular passage that I like to read. So in the beginning of this chapter, Separation from Shri Guru, a devotee has asked Srila Guru Maharaj, after the departure of our beloved spiritual master, we have come here to offer our respects to you, as well as to hear your highly esteemed advice on certain matters, if you'd be kind enough. And Guru Maharaj answers, the disappearance of the spiritual master is mentioned in the Shastra with an example. The disciple is like a lotus. The spiritual master is like the water around the lotus, just as in a pond or a lake. Your late Gurudev's position is like water, and Krishna is like the sun. As long as the lotus is floating on the water, the sun will nourish the lotus. But if the water vanishes, that very sun will burn the lotus. Without water, the Krishna sun will burn the lotus. Without the help of the Guru, the disciple is nowhere. So naturally, for us bare beginners, we can feel this terrible pain and fear at first. Then he continues, Raghunath Das Goswami has said, in the absence of my Gurudev, Govardhan Hill, the representation of Krishna himself seems to me just like a big python coming to devour me. And Radha Kund, the holiest place of divinity of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, seems like a tiger's mouth coming to devour me. They're giving me so much excitement in the absence of my Gurudev, my dearest and highest spiritual guardian. My Gurudev, who has the most intense affection for me, is not here. How can it be? Everything is void. All has vanquished with his departure. Such a deep sense of separation will come in the heart of a sincere disciple. Once one of your devotees said in his lecture that separation is the highest realization. I was very happy to hear from his lips that separation, vipralamba, is the highest attainment. Without separation, nothing else can come to us. The anticipation of meeting Krishna will appear to us as vipralamba. So vipralamba is the most auspicious thing pertaining to Krishna consciousness. And we can have Krishna's connection also in that separation. So the safest and most fearless position is vipralamba. If we can stand firm and retain the memory of Gurudev in his separation, then we will have passed the highest test. So the safest and most fearless position is vipralamba. So we can think that association with our Guru as wonderful and as beneficial as we have experienced means that we go to where he is, we sit before him, we give some offering of flower or fruit or something, and that is association. And we hear, we might write it down or we might record it, and we think that that is the association, and that is what we are bereft of now. But this is explaining perfectly. Guru Maharaj explains that this vipralamba is the safest and it's the highest. I believe that that must be because it forces us to learn that Guru is in our heart, is internal. That's the only way that we can bear it. So if you could speak about that, Maharaj, that's all I can think is that it becomes most real because we are desperate. We're forced to find our guru. So we must find that he's never left. He's always in here.
Well, definitely a good meditation, and visually the mat logo is there to help us in that conception, the necessity of the presence of the Guru, and then the disappearance of that water. Then what happens? Then that lotus is going to be struggling. But to maintain life, then that is our necessity. But to maintain devotional life, that is our necessity. So at least those of us who are here in the Zoom, we're still trying to be alive. We're still struggling to stay alive after all these years. And one of our sweet devotees yesterday made a mathematical observation that I was 28 years with Gurudev, and now we've been 14 years without Srila Gurudev. So 14 years without him, and 28 years in his direct association this way. And then we think, well, how have we fared up in the 14 years afterwards? And something we can say, well, we're still trying, we're still going on. And so really in our life, we have to still go on. And what will be our realization or not? I also understand that's in their hand rather than in our analytical hand. But we're safer because we can't, well, hopefully we can't make so much offense. When we're with Guru, then we can make offense to the Guru. But also we're safer that we're not in the bodily conception of thinking of us thinking of the Guru in the bodily conception. And Srila Guru Maharaj is explained here, and from Guru Maharaj's lotus lips, and we've got the direction of how to lead our life. But one thing I can say about yesterday, or today for you, in our talks, we tried to stay out of the sad zone and come to the happy zone. And there is happiness and sadness. And again, Srila Gurudev, we are focusing on his gift to the world, not just gift, his absolute necessary role in the distribution of Mahaprabhu's continuing message, the development of Mahaprabhu's message. Because Srila Prabhupada, remember, for 11 years, 1966 to 1977, essentially, is when devotees were with Srila Prabhupada. One or two in 1965, maybe, but 1960s, he arrived in Boston Harbor, wasn't it, in America in 1965. And 1966 to 1977, that's 11 years from zero to the oldest devotee when he passed away was 11 years old. And so it's absolutely not unreasonable to consider that an 11-year-old child will still have some more, education to go through and things to continue in the journey, especially when it's the infinite journey, not a part journey on the way, like a part of science or a part of history like that. In the school, you study, and then you get more, you build on what you've learned in the primary school, in the junior school, the secondary school, etc. And Srila Gurudev gave us access to that by giving us access to Guru Maharaj. But Srila Gurudev was Srila Gurudev in his own right too, and he actually said that. And from time to I said that means it's not I heard somebody said he said it, but he said that in discussion with us, and Gurudev is saying, yes, everyone knows I'm Guru Maharaj's 100% devotee. And also, I, in many ways, am more like Srila Prabhupada than Guru Maharaj. But that doesn't mean I'm not Guru Maharaj 100% devotee. And then he said, and I'm also Govinda Maharaj. Like, he's not a clone or a recording machine which hears and then just re-delivers. Certainly he's re-delivering, but he's re-delivering from Govinda Maharaj, and he's giving Govinda Maharaj's contribution in addition to giving us the Guru Maharaj, which itself is like everything, and giving us Srila Prabhupada, which itself is everything, but he's giving himself, which we also see is everything. So Srila Gurudev, he was very much the connection with the living gurus, means when Srila Guru Maharaj was present with us, but continued that steadily forever after the disappearance of Srila Guru Maharaj. And we who didn't meet, most of us who did not meet Srila Prabhupada, without that fortune of that Kumkum has, she's got the storehouse of association with him and direct instructions from him and things like this. But we felt we knew him especially through Srila Gurudev. It's Srila Gurudev who has helped us to understand Srila Prabhupada and Srila Guru Maharaj. It's Srila Guru Maharaj who's helped us understand Srila Prabhupada and helped us understand Srila Govinda Maharaj. And it's Srila Prabhupada who's helped us to understand Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj. So it is very interrelated, and we can go into talks of higher and lower or so many things, but in that kind of association, it's almost audacious for us to make distinctions from our position here. Our position here is we have these three grand gurus who have purely, with no selfish motivation, only the motivation of being a disciple of their master, of doing what their master is expecting of them, and coming to face the world, the challenges of the world, with something which is undefeatable, as Mahaprabhu says, Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. And so the world now, and that means all of us here, the world now has been graced by these three great personages. And when we see their relationships, and then we see their grandness, then when Srila Gurudev disappeared, then it was like all three had disappeared, because in him we had so much of Srila Prabhupada, in him we had so much of Srila Guru Maharaj, and in him we had so much of Srila Gurudev. So when he disappeared, we had the disappearance of the three great generals, great souls, great rishis who came in this age to give us our Krishna consciousness as Mahaprabhu gave. But they are not stones. We heard from means they have big hearts. And Srila Guru Maharaj talked about the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And that is heart-melting when we hear Guru Maharaj talking of that day. And we remembered those words of Guru Maharaj, that expression of Guru Maharaj, when he himself passed away. And we are seeing everything that's taking place and rendering service as our capacity in the events that happened just that very day, just afterwards, of the arrangements for the things that take place after the disappearance of a great saint. And we remembered, and then at that stage, we also see how Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, how he was devastated that day, as well as all of us. Everybody was devastated. It's not that Gurudev was says in the book, we are eternal, we're just changing bodies. And, this is, I mean, there are many things which we can say, well, if we're a philosopher, then birth and death, and yes, it's all happening. We just do the needful now. It says we do this and this in the scripture, so we'll do this in the scripture. No, Gurudev, actually, first of all, he didn't know what to do. I mean, this is in the sweetest way. He didn't know actually what to do then, the formalities, I mean. And we are on Guru Maharaj's veranda. And it was so open-hearted and clean. And Gurudev saying that we were 3 or 4 devotees just seated there. Now, what do we do now? On Guru Maharaj's veranda, that settee, the sofa, and we had a couple of chairs. I was on the floor, and we're sitting. And I don't know who was there. And we are trying to consider like what to do. And Gurudev said, I've never been to anybody's samadhi program. I've never been to anyone's. I've only at Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. And then from nowhere, like from the heavens, 2 bright, strong, well-built, pious-looking brahmacharis came from nowhere. How do they know Guru Maharaj has passed away? It's not the internet age. They came from nowhere and said, and very humbly came, but with confidence and humility came to Gurudev. And we're up there on the veranda, and these 2 brahmacharis come and say, Govinda Maharaj, we can help. We know how to do this. We've done this in different cases before. And Gurudev, like, so relieved. But, okay, so that's how, I mean, the side road, as it were, about, what took place after Guru Maharaj's disappearance. But throughout all this, Gurudev was extremely unhappy, sad. I mean, very sad. So it's not a heartless matter when anybody passes away. And what to speak of when the Guru passes on, disappears from this world. And we have to say that it was another disaster day when Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj disappeared. But we've been trying to keep away from those, because the actual disappearance part, it's very sad. And it was a devastating, not only day, I mean, really, it was a devastating time to get over. And we are maybe still not over his disappearance from the world. And we were so much with him so that it was more painful, perhaps. And as I was reflecting yesterday, when I did come out from India, the devotees pulled me out from India after some time. And seeing the devotees in the West, I really thought, yes, the devotees mostly in the Western world, they're much better adapted because they weren't always with him in person, but knowing he's there in India, carrying on with their services, flourishing in their services, not just carrying on, flourishing in their service to him in separation already, in the sense of they would, if they have good fortune, they'll meet Gurudev once, twice, 3 times a year. But essentially, they're rendering service in separation. But we were, by Gurudev's grace, by Guru Maharaj's grace, we were closely serving Gurudev. And so his disappearance was a very big disaster. And suddenly we have to adjust. We can't just come to his door and talk with him or bring this question to him, but we then have to seriously consider how Gurudev would face different situations. And of course, situations came up. Hare Krishna. So the disappearance part of the remembrance of the Tirobhav Mahotsav, the disappearance day festival, that side of it is definitely a little heart-rending and how can we say we adjust to anything properly when we look at the standard of the great Vaishnavas? And we can say we have seen Gurudev also was in Guru Maharaj's separation, and sometimes very, very difficult for him to hide his feelings in his separation. So, we also have to think emotion or devotion, but emotion, when it's spiritual, when it's connected in such ways, again, like I say, devotees are not stones, and we may well be in the 100% in the emotional category. For those who analyze, let it be, if that is the analysis. We can't say that we don't have some emotion, when we think back. And a great disaster, no doubt. Hare Krishna. Kumkum, you were saying something happy, weren't you? Oh, it's safer for us and better for us to be in separation. Okay, and you were quoting Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj. But you see, we've got the acharyas. We've got these three pure, unmotivated, selfless, not only selfless, self-given acharyas, who just their automatic nature is that of being fully a devotee. They have come here to this world for our benefit. And how many times we can say how much we can knock into our consciousness to make us realize our good fortune of what they've given. And it's Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, the Maya always wants to give some test and opposition to make sure we are fit to come to the association of those pure devotees. And so when we are still quarreling and judging and this, that, and the other, we're not probably quite ready to be brought into our family gathering in Goloka Vrindavan, because are we going to complain about all those who are around us? No, we're not allowed to. That tendency must go. And so Maya normally is always seeing, are we selfless and are we God-centered and are we free from all the negative tendencies or not? They're saying, are we sincerely trying? That's her duty as the guardian of the prison house. But in Kali Yuga, it's not only Maya, it's the whole influence of Kali, which is so degraded that the things which would not be a temptation in other yugas, they're just as taken as normal. So such an easy, the jiva soul is such easy prey in Kali Yuga for being caught up in the net of birth, death, old age, and disease, for being drawn away from spiritual life to mundane life. But we have these three great pillars who've come to give us almost for free the golden ticket to the golden land, the land of Goloka Vrindavan. Oh, well, by the grace of the golden Lord. Hare Krishna. And yesterday we read online with the devotees, with the Brazil devotees, that poem, that composition of Srila Gurudev. Ami Guru Das, Nahe Anya. I am Guru, I am a servant of Guru, nothing else. Nahi Anya. And we read that, and Leelamoy Prabhu, we said that we should read it another twice before we finish the day. We read it another twice in the assembly of devotees, in the temple room, as part of our evening program, because actually our program didn't stop all day, basically. Inside and outside, we are doing everything. In the wind, and then inside. We had a very windy day yesterday. And by the way, anyway, and not thankfully not our trees, but quite a lot of trees came down and all sorts of things happened yesterday. So anyway, but it was a windy day, but it was a very happy day. But in the evening, we read that twice. And if you include the Bengali, I suppose we read it 3 times. So anyway, in addition to when we read, it is in the Revealed Truth, the book Revealed Truth, and it's the composition of Gurudev in 1955, when he was 7 or 8 years in the mission. In the mission means at Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. And what a wonderful poem. And now how do we get onto that poem just now? We can read it now also. We can read it again. Who would like to read it? First one to put up a hand who can read. No hands, come on. Okay, Priya Sundari Devirasi. Oh, Mahesh. Okay, Maheshri, you just lost out to Priya Sundari. We'll give you something else to read in a short while. Do you have that with you there? Priya Sundari, your microphone is off. Do you have Revealed Truth with you just there?
I have, yes, I have the poem open.
Oh, you have it open. Okay, good for you. So please read it with, and as you know always, I don't have to say it every time, but with understanding. We are going to simply hear from you, so we want to hear what Gurudev's expressing.
Okay. I am just the English?
Yes.
Okay. I am a servant of Guru, nothing else. I will travel throughout the 14 worlds, awakening everyone to their true self. I will go with the banner of divine love in hand and cause everyone to recognize the sign of the true self. I will induce everyone to abandon all religions. I will demolish the pursuits of liberation and worldly enjoyment. I will construct a grand palace of devotion. I am a servant of Guru, nothing else. I will break the customs, bemuse everyone, shut the mouths of the garrulous, hold back death, and distribute good fortune to all. I will do so humbly, without deceit. I will show the unlimited glory of He whose manifestation brought the great portion of the Mahabharata to an end, and efface all duplicity. I will sound the crattle drums of victory throughout the world, dispel all quarrel and fear, and cause the Ganges of pure devotion to flow throughout the universe. Satisfying the Lord in this way, I will attain good fortune. I will forcibly engage all, the noble, the ignoble, and the barbarous, in Krishna's service. I will board them all in the boat to Goloka and empty the earth. I will guide them all by the power of my Guru's feet. I will hoist the boat's sail by the power of chanting Hari. If Mahamaya presents any illusion, I shall cut it asunder. I will drive the boat to the spiritual world, and all the men and women will become four-armed. All moving and inert beings will attain Hari and become worshipable to the demigods. Everyone will identify with the same identity, realize their immortal self, worship Sri Hari, and call out Jai, Jai. Saying this, I will be satisfied. I am a servant of Guru, nothing else. Jai.
Jai, Jai. That is also a meditation for us. We have Kumkum's contribution from Sri Guru and his grace and the mat logo, and just see the beauty, honesty, cleanliness, cleanness, everything of the prophecy or the expression of Srila Gurudev for our meditation also, to think, oh my goodness. And then, by the way, just go fast forward from 1955 to 2010 and before. And you see, Gurudev did all these things. And mathematically, 1955 plus 55 is 2010. Just see. Anyway, and basically Gurudev did all these things. And Gurudev, and then you're sitting, oh, did he take everybody home? Do we all have forearms? Well, I'll leave you meditating on the forearm part. But Gurudev sitting there and saying, I can see, I know you are all liberated. You cannot see that, but I can see that. It's just a matter of time. Oh dear. That's what Gurudev is saying. But I can see you are already liberated. That doesn't mean now we've got a license to go out and dig ourselves into the unliberated world more. We've all got that current, and whether we come out screaming, sometimes you take the child from the kindergarten or something, and sometimes they want to come from the kindergarten and come home, and sometimes they just want to stay playing, and you've got to pull out the child screaming. Whether we're going to leave from this plane screaming, being taken up, or whether we're going to come willingly because at home we've got all good things, then we should try our best to be a good child and come out knowing that our home has everything there and the residents are truly our family and friends. Hare Krishna. So, Sevarupa Devirasi, what are you going to give Maheshwari to read? She would like to read something. We can also, I mean, I can suggest something, but I'm leaving to you. You can give a suggestion, something relevant for the theme. And by the way, lots of devotees on Facebook today, and I have the luxury today of 2 internet connections. So I do have Facebook on. And my appreciation, my obeisances, my greetings to all of you auspicious souls, every soul auspicious on Facebook, every auspicious soul here on Zoom, and every auspicious soul who's seeing us on Facebook or Zoom in the recorded version presently. And perhaps more and more devotees are joining on Facebook because they're afraid they're going to be put on the spot by me, the monster. So you are all very brave who are here on Zoom. That gave you a few moments, Sevarupa. Did you select something?
Dandavats Maharaj, Dandavats dear devotees. Maharaj, I'm not sure if I have anything to do on the theme, but yesterday we were also having the festival here in South Africa, and there was a picture that we have on that was in Gurudev's I can't say, but at Gurudev's house. Let me say it like that. But it's from Golden Reflections. It was just a photo that I took. So I don't know if that will be relevant, or else you can choose for Maheshwari Didi to read.
You're mentioning about a picture you took. The picture was at Gurudev's house.
Yes.
So can we see the picture?
Yes, I'm going to see
You've
how
given us the appetizer, so now we would like in the chat box, yes.
Okay.
And in the meantime, Maheshwari Didi, have you got a songbook there with you? Kirtan guide? Okay. So what I'm going to ask Maheshwari Didi to read is the translation of the Guru Arati to Srila Gurudev, because there we've got also some description of the glories of who is Srila Gurudev. So it's Jaya Gurudev Arati Ujvala. How are we going to show this for you? I'll take some screenshots. How about that? So in the meantime, Sevarupati, do you have that photo? Anybody home? It's all very quiet. I'm taking screenshots as we talk. Govinda, 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 Govinda. So, first of all, let me put these into the chat box. So, Maheshri Didi, I'm putting now into the chat box some, for everybody, everyone in the meeting, I'm putting those, if they're screenshots, I don't know how else to send them just now.
I was
So,
also trying to save the picture and then post it.
all right. So, Maheshri Didi, here you are. You can begin with this, just the English part. Are you able to see it? Are you on a mobile phone or a computer?
I'm on a computer and I'm just trying to make it bigger.
I think if you click it, it should just come up onto as a picture.
Oh, that's what I was. It's still not very big. Okay. Oh, there. Okay. Very good. So, Shri Guru Arati. All glories to the oh boy. I know I can't say the word.
Effulgent,
Effulgent. I knew that.
glowing.
All glories to the effulgent arati of Sri Guru Deva, which is going on at the foot of Govardhan, benefiting the whole world. All glories to Sri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami, who is our supreme master and is like a reservoir of joy. His graceful long hands touch his knees, and his body is beautiful and transcendental. He is an ocean of infinite genius and transcendental qualities. We consider your real identity to be non-different from Krishna and Gauranga. But now, to deliver this material world, you have assumed the form of a pure devotee. You are brightening the line of the followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. Your effulgence, which is comparable to that of the sun, is known throughout the whole world. There is no one like you to preach pure devotion. You are the spotless moon, and you are merciful like Lord Nityananda. An ecstatic people all over the world are attaining the treasure of love of Krishna. They are dancing and singing your glories. To teach the essence of the highest knowledge and to preach it to all, you have established many ashrams all over the world. You have mastery over the knowledge of the Vedas, both conceivable and inconceivable. You are the treasurer of bona fide conclusions, which can destroy all doubt. Your glories are being sung in the spiritual world of Goloka, the realm of your pastimes, by your servants who are eternally liberated. To deliver the fallen souls, you are like a breeze of mercy. You are expert in all service, and you are established in truth and gravity. Is there more?
Yes,
Okay. All right, let me.
it's there. I hope you can see it.
Um,
Oh, so this is verse number 12.
yes. Okay. Oh. Hmm.
Okay, there, 13. Excuse me.
Yes, okay. I'm just making it bigger.
Mhm. By the way, very nice reading, clear, and we all want to receive this message because this is a description of Gurudev. And we sing this song in many places, morning and evening. But with singing the Bengali, we can forget what we're singing sometimes. So it is very beautiful to point this out. Yes, so these are the last verses, yes.
All right. You are always straightforward and humble, and you are always joyful in the association of pure devotees. In a spiritual gathering, you are always the best speaker. In every field of life, you always come out victorious. In the sky of the Gaudiya Vaishnava world, you are a preceptor who is prominent like the sun. You are always fond of service, and your sweet voice inspires others to do service also. Past, present, and future, for all eternity, we beg your mercy. Only by your mercy will one receive devotional service to Sri Sri Gandharvika Giridhari. O my Lord, who is the manifestation of mercy of Sri Gauranga, please be merciful to me. This insignificant servant of yours is always praying this way while worshipping you.
Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Krishna, this is Gurudev. This is Gurudev. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Okay, does anybody have a question? Or contribution? Hare Krishna. All right, so we do have devotees sitting right now in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, listening to us and being with us. You are in the place. So Nitya Gopal Prabhu, I see you are online. And you are in the place of Srila Gurudev's actual samadhi. We are at his Pushpa Samadhi, some of those many flower garlands, obviously. So many garlands given to Gurudev on his disappearance day. And Srila Avadut Maharaj had the foresight to collect and keep some of those garlands as they're being removed from his divine form before, or as being put into the samadhi, so many garlands, and then some of those he kept very carefully, honorably, and he shared with Socal in California and with Govardhan, the temple in Govardhan, and here in Italy. So there are three places in the world where the pushpa, the flowers from the flower garlands of the very time of Srila Gurudev's being put into the samadhi, are kept inside. And this way, pushpa samadhi means flower samadhi. And this is the traditional special way of giving honor to the disappeared spiritual masters or great saintly persons. So also when we are on parikrama in Vrindavan, etc., sometimes we're at the actual samadhi of the great rishis, the predecessor acharyas, and sometimes we're at the pushpa samadhi. And this pushpa samadhi is a place of the remembrance. But where the actual samadhi is, of course, is kept in special regard. And that actual samadhi is in Nabadi, the dear place of Gurudev, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, as is the samadhi of Srila Guru Maharaj, his dear place, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And we see Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat was so dear to Guru Maharaj and to Gurudev. And their holy bodies, their holy form are both buried there. And very sweetly, Srila Gurudev's Samadhi is 90 degrees to Guru Maharaj's Samadhi, as though looking at him, ready in service, not side by side, but 90 degrees, like a master and a student. The student will be sitting there, ready at any moment, like 90 degrees to the master, as it were, and ready at any moment to serve. And at the same time, of course, then the arati, the worship of Gurudev is going on there. The worship of Guru Maharaj is going on 90 degrees over. And then the worship of the deities of Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar. And the Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, it is so beautiful. The other day we showed this picture large in a gathering, and one regular person who'd been in India and been to so many places. Being regular means wasn't an official devotee, but why they're in the gathering, they have some interest to come and hear. And they said, oh, such a beautiful temple. I was in India, I never saw such a beautiful temple. And really, we think that, but we can also accept we're gently biased sometimes. But when somebody completely independent sees that, the photo of the temples, and we think, yes, okay, it's not only our thinking, that really it's a beautiful temple. And there's something more, because it's not the physical temple, as it were, but Gurudev, when Gurudev is saying of Srila Guru Maharaj's Samadhi, that everything about Srila Guru Maharaj is eternal, therefore his Samadhi is eternal. My seva, Gurudev saying, my seva is to manifest that Samadhi. What is already existing, my seva is to manifest it. So Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, a beautiful, beautiful place that's manifested within that eternal Leela of Mahaprabhu's most forgiving and generous Leela, the most generous Lord in his most generous pastimes. There in Koladeep, where is Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, that area of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And there, the most forgiving and generous distribution of Mahaprabhu's full-fledged conception, coming through Srila Guru Maharaj, coming through Srila Gurudev, being brought to the world there and spread as another volcano, the volcano of Mahaprabhu's teachings coming from Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, day by day, year by year. And this is our super fortune now, to be able to be in touch with those teachings through the books, through the recordings, through the devotees, through the living and connection of those who are not only reading and thinking it's a good idea to be a devotee, but those who have got that connection of devotion and happily engage in offering their food, chanting the holy names, and sharing what we have with others, to worship the Lord, to chant the Lord's names, and to share the grace of the Lord by telling others about Krishna, about Mahaprabhu, about Guru Maharaj, about Gurudev, about Srila Prabhupada. So Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat stands resplendent. Srimad Chaitanya Saraswata Matavara Udgita Kirti Jayashrim. This verse. And I knew it all off by heart, but now just need a little prompt. When others are saying it in the temple room, I can keep up with it. If I'm alone, I better look carefully. Srimad Chaitanya Saraswata Matavara Udgita Kirti Jayashrim Bibrat Sambhati Ganga Tata Nikata Nabadipa Kaladri Raje Yatra Shri Gaura Saraswata Mata Nirata Gaura Gata Grinanti Nityang Rupanuga Shri Kritamati Guru Gauranga Radha Jitasham. This is composed by Srila Guru Maharaj, and this translation is the translation approved, not only approved, approved and contribute, like the English translation is contributed to by Srila Govinda Maharaj himself too. So he gave the translation in Bengali, and he also didn't himself directly translate it. Sagar Maharaj translated it, but he adjusted things in the translation to fit his feeling and mood that he gave in the Bengali. And Gurudev was very happy with this translation. This is one of these treasures we have in English, which didn't manifest just in a moment. It manifested over several days, maybe even a couple of weeks, really, day by day, coming, they're discussing and putting it into writing. So now I'll read something in our last minutes. What a beautiful way to end. Srila Gurudev's translation of Guru Maharaj's verse. In the holy abode of transcendental touchstone, Sri Navadip Dham, the self-same Vrindavan, in the land of Kola Deep, whose inner identity is the king of mountains, Sri Govardhan, near the charming shores of the holy river Bhagirathi, the Ganges, who delivers all the fallen souls, stands that grand and glorious king of all temples, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. In that beautiful retreat, the surrendered devotees whose lives are the message of Sri Gaura are eternally absorbed in the loving service of the Divine Master, the Golden Lord Gauranga, and the loving Lord Sri Govinda Sundar, with his consort Srimati Gandharva, accompanied by all their beloved associates. With hearts always filled with good hope to attain the grace of the Lord, following faithfully in the line of Sri Sri Rupa and Raghunath, the storekeepers of the unlimited treasure of pure, sweet love divine, those surrendered souls ever sing the unending glories of the transcendental name and qualities of the most magnanimous, original, supreme Lord, Sri Sri Gauranga Sundar. The last part, the last line. Indeed, the hearts of all beings, moving and still, marvel in the glory of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, as they take shelter in the soothing, affectionate shade of the victory flag that flies aloft and sings wholeheartedly to the world the ever-expanding renown of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, bearing that banner of all transcendental benedictions. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ever shines resplendent in all its divine magnificence. Hare Krishna. Well, what can I say more? Oh, Axel, someone has something to say more. Axel has something to say. I have a question about the meaning of capacity. What do they mean when they say we should do service up to our capacity, chant up to our capacity, read up to our capacity, etc.? Please accept my obeisances. Yes, Axel, and our respects to you. And I mean, just briefly, yes, up to our capacity means we are all students. And so we are students at a certain grade. We don't come from nowhere, come out of school and go come out of the kindergarten and go straight to the university. We can't come out of the kindergarten and get a job to drive a truck. I think we'll all be very cautious about having a 5-year-old truck driver. So according to the capacity, in other words, according to where we are, we will do what we can. And that will be good for us. And as we engage in service, according to our current situation, our capacity to do service, then we will get more capacity. And so our journey from the, I mean, it's a rough example, but from kindergarten to junior school to the first grade, second grade, third grade, like this, then our journey will continue happily. So in the beginning, we're all well suited to cleaning the temple and washing the pots and doing many things. And by the way, we're still well suited to that. At the end of our journey, it's not that any service is less or more, but in the beginning, our capacity, we can help with things like that. But we may not be able to help with proofreading the diacritics on a transliterated text of Bengali. So according to our capacity, we will do service. And it's not much different than the idea that in the world, the truck driver can drive a truck, but he can't drive a ship. Presumably, who is the captain of a ship, he probably can drive a truck, but well, he can drive a car anyway. So anyway, we all have different capacities. The artist does the artwork, the plumber does the plumbing, the mathematician solves all the mathematical problems. And we all have a different capacity within society. And so what do they mean about capacity? And our chanting, chant to chant, we chant according to our capacity. And we can see those with huge capacity, like Nama Acharya, like the perfect example of chanting, Haridas Thakur. He could chant 300,000 names of the Lord every day, which actually it's not possible by me. I've chanted over 100 rounds at different times before the internet, I have to say. Anyway, I've chanted more than 100 rounds at different times. And I can tell you that was a very focused chanting, the minimum time to bathe and to eat. I mean, minimum time, absolute minimum. And from the very first thing in the morning to the evening time. And then how we can chant, I think 300,000 names is 172 rounds or something like that. I don't remember. The mathematicians, according to their capacity, can do that mathematical calculation. But anyway, I came to the conclusion that even for one day in my life, it's not possible to chant 300,000 names. So hence, we can see somebody has a capacity, somebody doesn't. And also, according to our capacity, means that that's an extreme example, 300,000 names to 16 rounds, which I forget is how many names. But then we know that also in reality, in 16 rounds a day can't be chanted almost by almost anybody. We find in the quiet moments, the most established devotees, they say, oh, it's not possible to. In the beginning, I was able to chant every day, but finally wasn't possible to chant every day 16 rounds. So, according to our capacity, everything will be done. And it should be a natural flow, but not a lazy flow. It's so easy to think, oh, I don't have that capacity, and I take it as an excuse to be lazy. We should exert ourselves to some degree. One who is running, when he's competing, he must always be pushing himself to some degree. But he can't do the impossible for him. He must do what he can do. Marathon runner may not be a sprinter. A sprinter may not be a marathon runner. So he'll find his slot. Do serve a capacity, chant to our capacity. Yes, read up to our capacity. Please don't go hearing about the books that the students in the university read. Let us keep our feet on the ground and understand we've got to get a good foundation. When we have a good foundation, a strong foundation, we can build so many things on top. If the foundation is weak and we try to build something on a weak foundation, we will be in trouble. And this example is given by Guru Maharaj too. Hare Krishna. So yes, so according to our capacity. And our gurus are giving us the capacity. If we read their books and follow their guidance, we will get capacity. They are giving us the opportunity to read, to chant, to serve in a higher grade very quickly. But we must be sincere. This is the main thing which is needed by us, not to try to get something cheaply or with I just try to find a shortcut to get to the goal. No, we are going to the goal. We'll take it seriously. And so sincerity and chastity were the two things stressed so much by Gurudev, always. So if we are sincere and we are chaste, we know we've come under the shelter of these super rishis, super masters of the modern age. Rishis, great sages and saints, are not just from hundreds or thousands of years ago. This is important for us to know. And Srila Guru Maharaj, in another context, he, about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was pointing out that, yes, we know of so many great souls and great rishis in the past, and their life and realizations are recorded in the Vedas. But what is being given by the present day rishis, the genuine, pure devotees today, then that is more than they were given, more than they were giving in the past. So now we have Mahaprabhu's full-fledged theism. And so who is presenting full-fledged theism in its purity? Then that rishi, that sadhu, that sage is more than those of the past. And this is Srila Guru Maharaj describing about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And we can use a very similar expression when we see Gurudev talking about Guru Maharaj and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And we have to say that even though we are unqualified as judges, but Guru Maharaj is not unqualified, Srila Prabhupada is not unqualified. And they are giving full certificate to Srila Gurudev. And we also definitely feel it, that there we have Srila Gurudev giving that highest thing and so generously. So what high standard of rishi, of sadhu is this? So this, again, an opportunity with the remembrance of Srila Gurudev at this time of his disappearance anniversary, to remember the greats and what they've given and what they are giving. So according to our capacity, we will try to digest these things. And we are all in very junior stage, and we pray for them. We need their guidance. We are their students. We want to be their instruments. Ami Gurudas, nahi anya. I am Gurudas and nothing else. That's Gurudev's expression. Oh, devotees, so good of you to all be here with us. So many, let me just see this for a moment. Okay, so more devotees than I can mention on Facebook and here on Zoom and in the recorded version, quietly watching. I know you're there because some of you confess from time to time. And we're happy to have you with us. And we're happy to have this opportunity to be with like-minded devotees in glorification of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
And the last thing, Gurudev, excuse me, Sivarupa did share the picture right above in the chat, right before your.
And this picture is, I saw this picture yesterday, but what is this picture, Sivarupa?
Maharaj, this is a picture that is framed in Gurudev's house in South Africa. It's from the Golden Reflections.
All right. So we are over time, but it's a special day in that we've got our remembrance of Gurudev. I think that somebody should read this, and who can read this is Leela Moy Prabhu.
Okay.
With
Sorry for the English.
understanding, and if you don't understand any words, because English is your second language, if you don't understand any words or expression, ask.
Okay, I'll try. Golden reflections. Some disturbance will always come to our practical life, but we don't care for it. One who tries to serve must receive some disturbance in this mundane world. One who does not exert any effort to try to serve will not be disturbed. He will simply chant alone on his beats. Thus he will remain without disturbance and without progress. But one who takes this service life must receive some disturbances, and thus also a good type of symptoms. And this is also a good type of symptom. If a sportsman runs but does not feel any pain on his leg, then that kind of running is insufficient. It means that he's not trying hard enough. He will not win a race in that way. But for the beginners, service with relaxed mood is not possible. Service is always difficult. One who can do that must be benefited.
All right, good job, Leela Moy Prabhu. And actually, yes, so yesterday Sevarupa Devarasi sent me this, and we read it in our evening program also, by the way. When devotees send things which stand out for them, we always are happy to share, because it's got that extra devotee heart transmission too. So yes, a little tricky to read because of the reflection, but very happy to see. And this has jumped out to somebody because, as you see, they've put it in a frame and put it on the wall. As we're always saying, we have lots of ethereal posters on our walls. And so here's a non-ethereal but equally transcendental poster. All right, dear devotees, on this point, by the way, that was, of course, from Srila Gurudev and from the book Golden Reflections. And this is from Srila Gurudev, encouraging us to increase our capacity to come to our full potential, just as parents want their children, to become doctors and who knows what. But, they want their children to get what used to be an ethical profession. And what from our own Vaishnava doctors say, not as ethical as one might think. Oh dear. Everyone's got to make money, don't they? All right. Anyway, we won't go there. But the point is that here's Gurudev, and he's trying to get us to be good devotees. So let us try our best. Let us try and be good students of such good masters. Why not? Why not? Why throw away this chance? If a poor person gets a scholarship to an expensive university, they'll try very hard. They realize, oh, this is my chance. Somebody who's got lots of opulence, they may just take it for granted. But somebody who goes consciously to the university and won some scholarship, they say, oh yes, this is my chance. All right, dear devotees, we've all got our scholarship to come into the class. Let us use our opportunity nicely. So to all of you, as we were mentioning, on Facebook, on Zoom, seeing the recorded version, let us remember our good fortune. Let us utilize that good fortune. Let us chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So all glories, Jai, Srila, Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj, our affectionate, wonderful Srila Gurudev ki Jai. And Jai Srila, Bhakti Rockok Srila Dev-Goswami Maharaj, our Grand Master and full of affection for us all, also ki Jai. And Jai Om Vishnupad, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Nityananda, Shaktivesh avatar of Nityananda, empowered by Nityananda, practically as Nityananda did, rolling on the ground, begging us to chant Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. And Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that very modern day Rishi that Guru Maharaj is describing, his greatest generosity, giving the full-fledged theism to the world. That highest type of Rishi, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. And Jai Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, and our whole Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. And Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, and Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai. And assembled with us senior devotees, we've got our Kumkum Devidasi here ki Jai, and Jagamohini Devidasi ki Jai, and other senior devotees, all respectable Vaishnavas ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. With appreciation to you all, and to Kumkum Devidasi for her sharing these powerful words of Srila Guru Maharaj, and to each of you here.
Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Dandavat with all best wishes.
Dandavat Madhusudana Maharaj.
Ashji.
Thank you.
Dandavat.
Dandavat.